Welcome to Demystify Magic with Molly and Madison.
I'm Molly, a former skeptic, now full-time energy healer, author, and your resident science meets spirit nerd.
And I'm Madison, a born and raised witch, teacher of the craft, and owner of not one, not two, but 3 metaphysical businesses.
Together we dig into low-effort witchcraft, spirituality, and the science that backs it all up, all with humor, heart, and a sprinkle of chaos.
So whether you're a curious skeptic or a seasoned witch, find a cozy spot, take a deep breath, and let's demystify some magic. Howdy doody, friends.
Howdy and a duty and a friends. I'm very excited for story time today. I only vaguely know what we're talking about because we had to record this intro twice.
Yep, she vaguely knows because all we got through was the intro before realizing that I was not recording. My microphone was not working.
You know, after 3.5 years, you think we'd have our shit together, but we don't.
Clearly not. But today I'm very, very excited. We are starting another widely anticipated series on the Norse Pantheon.
Pew, 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 pew.
I am so stoked. This is the first kind of like research-based thing that I'll be doing for the podcast that I had little to no experience with going in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, haven't even seen the Marvel movies.
Oh, neither have I. I didn't even know there were Marvel movies.
Yeah, Thor and Loki are characters in the Marvel movies.
Are they based off of the actual mythology, or is it?
I think so, but don't quote me on it. Again, haven't seen it. So, not sure. But I do know that they exist in that universe.
Okay.
Little to no experience. And so this series is going to be a little bit shorter because I had no like basis of information going in. I kind of had to piece it together without any previous understanding. And truthfully, what I've learned about the Norse Pantheon is that I could go down a million different rabbit holes, and so I kind of had to rein myself in. So this series is going to be kind of centered in what I would consider like the core 8 deities. They are the ones that I think if you have like any level of experience with the Norse Pantheon, you will have at least heard most of these names.
Okay.
Each episode is going to have its own little duo. So we'll have Odin and Frigg, Thor and Tyr, Freya and Loki, and Balder and Heimdall.
Those are some names I know.
Mm-hmm.
Many I don't.
Many I don't, but that's okay.
Your pronunciation is perfect.
Thank you.
Says the person who knows nothing.
Thank you so much. Actually, we did get what I would consider, it was a nasty comment, but it was good feedback on our Greek Pantheon series, which is that my pronunciation was poor. And I know that to be true. I feel like I gave it at the top of every episode, but I really put a lot of effort into getting my pronunciation really high and tight this time. I am a reader. I struggle to like watch things and like retain information, if that makes sense. And so everything that I've consumed through research for these series is literary. I never ever judge somebody for having poor pronunciation because I know even Sincere on Love Island saying epitome, I'm like, you know what? At least he reads. You know, I will never ever fault somebody for pronouncing something wrong because that just means you've only read the word. But for the sake of this series, I really, really wanted to do better. And so as of this morning, I literally had about 100 tabs open. That is just word, Norse pronunciation, word, Norse pronunciation, word, Norse pronunciation. So just know that I've really, really tried, and I actually put together something for our Patreon. I made a little vocab cheat sheet. So I've got all of those maybe difficult to pronounce words, the phonetic pronunciation, and definition. And I've got it for the deities, the places, the creatures, the concepts, all those sorts of things that will be discussed in the episode. And that will be available in our Patreon along with my notes that Molly will take and make legible and beautiful and put it in our clubhouse. So if you are interested in seeing the kind of write-up of what we'll be going throughout this series, go ahead and join our Patreon at demystifymagic.com. It's a good old time over there.
Yeah, any of the tiers get access to that. So you can join for as little as $5 hairs a month.
Yeah. Price of a cup of coffee.
Not even a cup of coffee these days.
These days, honestly. If you like a flavored latte, you're saving money by choosing Patreon. Anyways, before we get started on Odin and Frigg, Molly, what was your magic moment this week?
My magic moment is I did a very brave thing, and I am taking myself back to therapy.
Woo!
Beep, 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 beep.
Therapy!
Yeah, we love therapy. I graduated therapy a couple years ago when I went on Prozac. And I've just been feeling like, Chelsea predicted it in her astrology episodes with us this year. But this year has been taking me over the coals, raking me over the coals, and then throwing me out, and then sending me through a recycling machine, and then compressing me into a tiny piece of plastic, and then throwing me in the ocean and being eaten by a fish, and then becoming a microplastic and being served at a swanky restaurant, and then being pooped out by a billionaire.
Not becoming a microplastic.
That is how I have felt over the last 2 months.
Good.
And if
you
are like me, you're not alone. So I reached out to my old therapist. She's retiring. Sad for me, happy for her. And so I did the very brave thing, and I didn't give up there and go, I guess no therapy for me. I interviewed a bunch of therapists, and I've never done that before, but I got on calls with them and I said, how do you feel about this current administration? How do you feel about witchcraft? Especially since, I live very close to where ICE shot and killed a man in Maine. It's where Biddeford is, where my business is incorporated. It's where I've lived. It's where my new space is, like right down the road from where it happened. And it just felt really important to me that whoever I'm bearing my soul to is not a bigoted asshole. And so I found this very lovely woman. She teaches yoga. She's a therapist. She is liberal. She's a protester. And she doesn't know anything about witchcraft, but she's open to learning. And I'm very excited to get started in therapy tomorrow. So that's my magic moment, is reaching out for help and support before I feel like I'm free falling off of a cliff. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What about you?
I'm so proud of you. My magic moment is that I am having a lot of fun right now planning a wedding.
Yeah.
Everybody who I've talked to, I know I was very loud and wrong on this podcast saying that I was going to elope. There was going to be no wedding, nothing crazy. And that has completely not been what's happening.
She's got multiple weddings happening.
Yeah, so
and I can't wait.
It's turned into what was supposed to just be an elopement in Vegas has basically now become a micro wedding in Vegas, and then now we're having my big fat pagan wedding in Florida after the fact, which I'm very, very excited about. We're doing a legal ceremony that's going to be just silly and fun, and then a more serious spiritual ceremony after we're already married. And I feel like when things kind of started to spiral, I started to feel really weird and guilty. Because I feel like the internet has kind of lied to me about how people will feel about your wedding. I feel like everybody sees those TikToks of and people are asking you to come on these trips for their bachelorette party and blah, 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 blah. And you have to do all these things and there's all these events and everybody expects all these things of you and blah, blah, blah. And brides are the worst. And so I've gone into wedding planning and bachelorette planning and all of these things, especially because a lot of my friends are older than me. I actually think I will be the youngest person at my bachelorette party. I might, if there wasn't a child invited to my wedding, I might be the youngest person at my wedding.
Yeah,
but we're and even I'm 28. I had to think for a second. I was am I 27 or 28? We're not spring chickens anymore. Well, I still feel like a spring chicken, but
you are a spring chicken, I would argue.
We all have
I think
lives.
Most people listening will be like, you two are both spring chickens.
Yes, for sure. But we all have lives, and I understand that this thing has kind of spiraled into a lot of events. And so I've gone into all of my conversations with my friends about wedding related things with the vibe of there's absolutely no pressure. Please don't come if it's at any way inconvenient to you. I just have been doing the most to be accommodating, which maybe has contributed to the response that I've received. But I see everyone online say, well, you really find out who people are when you're getting married. You know, you really find out what people think of you. And I have found that to be true. And I've found out that all of my people are the best fucking people in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's currently like a 30-person group chat. And it's one of my favorite group chats.
It's 15. It's 15.
Okay.
Drew and I are doing like a joint bachelorette party. Everyone can come, even though it's like kind of an inconvenient weekend.
I'm so excited for it. I'm planning my whole year around this wedding. I'm like, sorry, no mundane magic events in Q1 or Q2. I've got a wedding to be at.
It's just been so heartwarming. We sent out like our save the dates, and there's a little place where people can leave messages, and everyone leaving these things of like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, gonna be the weekend of the year, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, just this sense of joy around me getting married. And I do still stand by, like, we should treat all accomplishments the way that we treat weddings. Like, I don't really feel like I'm accomplishing anything by getting married, you know?
Yeah.
But it has been such a wonderful time for people to, like, really show up for us in a way that I think is just, like, what's societally acceptable, right? Like, it's a rite of passage, and we have societal expectations about what that means and what we do or whatever. And I'm sure as it gets closer, it will feel more stressful, and all of those things will feel bigger and harder. And, you know, there will be stuff that comes up. But right now, I am just so grateful for the people in my life and the way that they are excited to celebrate us and spend time together and do fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I think it's just become such an excuse for us to all hang out and have fun.
That's what I'm most excited about. I'm like, how can I throw more of these? Like, I should have done a book-chillerette party.
Now that's an idea, right? Like
You could still do it.
I could really make next year about me. Wedding summer 2027, book release fall 2027.
It really is your year.
Instead of a honeymoon, we go on a book chillerette.
Book chillerette. I mean, I'm willing to do that for my second book. So
let's do it. I'm so there.
Seriously.
I think what it's like really taught me is that we should all throw more parties.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, hosting is so fun.
It's very fun.
And we should all be celebrating each other more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to get a formal invitation that, like, to your, like, grad school graduation, you know, or whatever it is. Like, or to, like, I have a friend who bought a business. Send me a formal invitation to your ribbon cutting. Let's go. Like, I want to do more stationery. I want to throw more parties. I want to do more hosting. You know, like, I just love, I'm just having so much fun with that aspect of it.
I do love stationery. I feel very lucky that part of my job is just sending greeting cards out. We do every week. We go through our Reiki training graduate community and we send people love letters. And it might be like, you know, someone got married recently or had a grandchild, or sometimes someone's like in the hospital or whatever. And so I just have this huge box of greeting cards and I send like I think I'm sending like 25 of them this week because there's like so much. I
love that.
Yeah, it's so fun.
That's so sweet. I love celebrating people. And so one of my friends, when I was in Atlanta buying my wedding dress last month, one of my oldest friends just like took me aside and looked at me and she goes, and I just really can't wait for this year to be about you. I can't wait for you to be at the center of things a little while.
Me too.
Because I am, of my college friends, I'm the last one to get married.
Fun.
And like so many of my friends, it's like I feel like in certain groups I'm the first to get married. And so that has like a level of excitement. And then in other groups I'm the last to get married. And so that has its own kind of excitement. It's just really cool. I don't know. I have really changed my tune on weddings, is the long and short of it.
My favorite part is that you're getting married, and then a month later, my other best friend is getting married.
Oh, has she chosen a date?
Yeah, a month after yours. I can't wait.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. I'll have to message her. Your two best friends have converged.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we have been DMing, so I'll be messaging her and asking you for all the deets because I'm such a nosy Nelly now.
I know. I love it because I am such an events girly. I don't know if I've talked about this on the pod, but I professionally planned events for 10 years through my different role as an advocate. I did outreach and fundraisers in college and then did like various events for Sexual Assault Awareness Month and then worked at a retirement community where I was the activities director. What?
Hear me out.
What?
What if I know we don't need another thing to do.
Oh, here we go.
But what if we were witchy wedding planners?
No. No.
Please.
No.
It could be so fun.
No.
Because
no.
what can I tell you, the other thing I found that's less exciting is that so many people in the wedding planning business are so Christian.
Yeah. Especially in the South.
That has been my only hang up, is that I will find vendors and like, I don't care about working with religious people. Like it doesn't bother me at all, but this is like it is a pagan event.
Yeah. Pagan parties. That's what we could call that side of our business.
See?
Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
I'm back in.
We have to do the episode now because if not, we're going to start another business. Please let us know in the comments if you would let us plan your pagan party.
No, because everyone will say yes, and then we will have to do it, and I don't have time to do it.
I don't either, but I really think it would be fun.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anyways, let's rein her in, folks.
Let's talk about Odin and Frigg.
Please.
Okay. So sorry, everyone. We're opening with the king, Odin, and the queen, Frigg, of the Aesir. And the Aesir is basically like the name of the pantheon. It's like the gods are the part of the Aesir.
Aesir.
Or Aesir.
Oh, God. Wait, which one is it?
The thing is that it's kind of debated. Some people pronounce it different ways. So
perfect.
All of the mythology from the Norse Pantheon is kind of rooted in these two literary works, Poetic Edda and Prose Edda, which are Icelandic. So a lot of the pronunciation originally comes from Iceland, and then there are like Icelandic pronunciation is very specific. I will not even attempt it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's complicated for me in my American mouth. And so it kind of it trickles down from like the truest Icelandic pronunciation down into like a more Americanized. Like Odin is technically pronounced Othin.
Okay.
With the Icelandic pronunciation, but we all kind of in like the West know him as Odin.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm going to use. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And if you don't like it, you can find an audiobook.
I really do understand. But if you don't like it, I get it. If you were from Iceland, I would actually pay you real money to say all of these words, and then I could have Lily superimpose them over my shitty pronunciation. So Aesir and Aesir are the two pronunciations that came up when I looked up that word. They're kind of like the main group of gods. Anyways.
Okay.
Odin and Frigg are a really intentional pairing, which I think is super cool. Odin and Frigg, they represent two very different relationships to knowledge as a concept. Odin, his mythology is deeply rooted in the pursuit of knowledge, often at a physical cost, where Frigg is born with immense knowledge. She knows every being's fate, including her husband and sons.
That sounds exhausting.
Yes. So her power is like innately built over what she chooses to share and not share. Yes. So it's like, I can't wait to talk about her because it's like this, I just can't even fathom that level of power and what that means for a person. So a little bit of a primer. Norse magic is split roughly into two disciplines. So there is Seithr, which is like prophetic fate adjacent magic, which is often associated as like women's magic.
Okay.
And then there is Galder, which is magic performed through chanted or sung spells, which is closely tied to runes.
Okay.
Odin is more like classically known with a association to Galder, but he does learn Seithr in one of his myths, and there is a loss in social status that comes with that.
Ooh, tea.
It's like considered emasculating to participate in Seithr magic.
And Seithr is, one more time.
It is prophetic or trance magic.
Okay, so like channeling?
Kind of like how Frigg has that ability to know everything that's going to happen. That's how you can kind of associate, like, that's the more quote-unquote feminine magic because it's tied to Frigg's abilities.
Okay, gotcha.
But Seithr is like a form of magic that is seeking prophecy, whereas Frigg doesn't really practice magic in that same way. Her power is just foreknowledge itself. So she doesn't need to participate in magic to seek knowledge. I kind of associate it that Seithr magic is trying to become more like Frigg.
Okay. Trying to know more.
Yes, it's seeking that knowledge through prophecy and trance. So yeah, like channeling.
Cool.
Okay, starting with Odin. He is the All-Father, the god of wisdom, war, poetry, and the runes. So, in the Greek pantheon, obviously, Zeus is like the main daddy-o. Odin is kind of like that in the Norse pantheon, but what I really find so interesting about him is that, like, calling him like the number one, it kind of undersells. He's like a really weird guy.
Okay.
And that's what I love about him. So he's super obsessive about knowledge, literally to the point of self-mutilation in some of his mythology. He wanders Midgard disguised as a one-eyed traveler in a wide-brimmed hat. He keeps company with ravens and wolves, and he's like fundamentally driven by this one single project, which is preparing for Ragnarok, which is an event that he knows is coming, but he cannot stop, and it is essentially like the end of the world.
Oh, okay.
It is like the death of the gods. The world will be consumed in fire.
Side note, Ragnarok, great punk band name.
Great punk band name. I feel like I've heard the word before. Like, I do think there's a business in St. Pete maybe called Ragnarok. I think that I was so nervous about my pronunciation that I did Google Ragnarok, which is spelled phonetically how you say it. I Googled Ragnarok pronunciation just to be sure. And I'm pretty sure Ragnarok St. Pete came up. So he rules from Valhalla, which is kind of like his home or like his temple. It's basically his hall for slain warriors. So when warriors die in battle, they go to Valhalla and are with Odin. He gathers the slain through his Valkyries and is served by two ravens called Hugin, which is thought, and Munin, which is memory. They fly across the world each day and report back everything that they see. In some of the texts, his anxiety is super tied to Munin or memory not returning rather than Hugin. So he is super, like, that. I think the idea there is that he's like very afraid of losing his knowledge or forgetting something.
Relatable. That was like my greatest fear growing up. One day I would wake up and just my brain would be gone. I watched Memento a lot as a kid, so I think that
I don't know that movie, but I believe you that that's scary.
Okay. It's I haven't thought about it in 20 years, but it's a movie about a guy who wakes up and he has no memory, but he's left himself clues. But he doesn't know. He has to piece together everything. But every day he wakes up and his memory is wiped. And then, like, he doesn't know if he's leaving the clues or if someone else is leaving the clues.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Great movie.
Odin's worst nightmare.
Yeah, literally. My worst nightmare.
So glad you've stirred some anxiety in me before we keep going.
You're welcome.
His little TLDR mythology, some of the stories that I thought were important to include. Odin once gave up one of his eyes for a single drink from Mimir's Well of Wisdom.
Oh, wow.
He gives a literal physical sacrifice in exchange for information. So he's like continuously depicted with one eye, wearing kind of that like that cost of wisdom permanently. He like serves as a physical reminder, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this level of like self-sacrifice is pretty consistent throughout his mythology. He once hung himself from something called the World Tree, pierced by his own spear for 9 days and 9 nights.
Ew. Why?
No food, no water, to win the knowledge of the runes.
Oh, so he's really into knowledge.
Yes, like will give pretty much absolutely anything. So he wins the knowledge of the runes by staring down into the depths below the tree.
With one eye or two?
One,
Yeah, okay.
I believe.
I was just wondering the timeline here.
So not only does he have this physical sacrifice that he's willing to do, but it's also a reputational sacrifice that he's very willing to participate in. You know how we talked about that Aesir magic that he learns from Freya. He absorbs that magic into his own practice despite the social stigma attached to a man practicing Aesir, meaning that this extra layer of knowledge meant more to him than even what his like disciples would think of him.
Mm-hmm.
So Odin is also willing to like steal and thieve in the pursuit of knowledge. He steals the mead of poetry, which is a mead brewed from the blood of the wise being Kvasir. He steals it from the giant who guarded it by seducing the giant's daughter and transforming himself into an eagle to escape with it in his own body.
Okay. And the mead of poetry, I assume, like he drinks it and he knows all poetry?
He shares it with gods and human poets, which is why poetic inspiration is sometimes called Odin's gift.
Aww.
Yeah, so it's like a form of, it's like, I see it as kind of close to that prophetic magic, right? Like, it's this inspiration.
Yeah, cool.
And then finally, his preparation for Ragnarok. This is kind of what fuels everything Odin does. He gathers warriors, he's seeking wisdom, he's learning every kind of magic because he's preparing for a battle that he kind of already knows that he'll lose. Which, this is what I find so interesting, is because he's really, obviously, he doesn't want the world to end, but he kind of knows this is a futile effort. But he's not going to go down without a fight. And that is what I really, really love about Odin and his mythology here, is like, I find it very inspiring, this idea that you can know that you're facing an uphill battle and that really there's nothing that you can do to prevent a certain outcome. But you can still pursue knowledge and pursue strength and pursue the ability to meet it head on.
Yeah, yeah.
So, some signs Odin may be reaching out. Ravens showing up repeatedly, especially if they're two together. His
memory.
thought and memory.
Yeah.
A sudden, intense desire for knowledge that feels almost compulsive. Choosing to lose or sacrifice something in exchange for clarity that you couldn't have gotten otherwise. Dreams of suspension or being held in an uncomfortable position that feels significant rather than distressing.
Feels very hanged man energy.
Yes, very hanged man energy. An interest in runes appearing seemingly out of nowhere, a wide-brimmed hat, a cloak, or a one-eyed figure appearing in dreams or synchronicities, or this like impending feeling like you might be preparing for something that you can't stop.
Ooh, spooky. What I think is really interesting about Odin is, at first when you said he's like hungry for knowledge, I'm like, oh, he's hungry for power, which may or may not be the case. But then when you mention like poetry and all of that, I'm like, oh, so he's not just interested in, you know, book smarts. He's interested in just like being able to know the arts as well. Yeah,
I really love the nuance that is involved with Odin, especially coming from, not that there wasn't nuance in the Greek pantheon. Of course, there is a ton of that as well. But I see him so directly correlated to Zeus in my mind. And in comparison to Zeus, there's a ton of nuance, you know? I don't know that Zeus would ever pursue a quote-unquote feminine form of magic.
Yeah, yeah.
And risk his reputation.
Right.
In the pursuit of that knowledge. And so I find him to be like a male god that I could really identify with.
Yeah, he reminds me of like,
oh, here we go. She's laughing.
He's like your stereotypical bisexual man. Like you meet him
yes,
and you think he is, a dude bro, and then you get to know him and you're like, oh, there's layers to you.
He is so bisexual king coded.
Is that offensive? Can we leave that in?
I don't think that's offensive.
All right. If the bisexual kings are offended, you can hit me up.
Two bisexual queens? We're allowed to talk about what gods give bisexual energy, I think. Experts in the subject, some might say. Okay. Ways to work with Odin include rune study and that Galder magic, that chanted or sung spell work.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me. Like,
right?
I feel like Galder magic, I don't see a lot of that happening. I don't hear a lot of that happening.
I fuck with a good chant.
Yeah, I fuck with a good chant too.
I love a chant. I love chant work. I'm sorry. That is where you really get me on like some group magic.
Yeah. I haven't done chant work in years. I might have to bring it back.
Should we bring it back?
We'll
do it at our pagan parties.
Hell yeah.
All right. Next is any kind of like deeper sustained study of any kind, really. Like if you're in any kind of schooling, any kind of like learning program, even like your Reiki training, for example, like a student could dedicate that to Odin.
Aww.
Because it's the pursuit of knowledge, especially if you're willing to sacrifice comfort for it.
Okay, say more.
So like imagine, I'll give an example from my own life. There is a graduate program of the occult that I have a level of interest in that I would love to do one day. But the thing that stops me from doing it is that as of now, I only have a couple free hours in the day.
Yeah.
And do I really want to give that up in pursuit of higher education? At this point in time? At this point in time, the answer is no. But if I chose to do so, that sacrifice of comfort, I would see as almost like an offering to Odin.
I've always wanted to go to acupuncture school.
Oh,
that's my dream.
I find acupuncture so interesting.
I know, me too.
If you go, can I look at all your homework?
Literally, you can be my test subject. I keep saying I'm manifesting that one in Maine will open because the closest one is in Worcester, Mass. And I just can't justify a 2-hour commute.
Oh,
but
yeah.
If a hybrid program or a program in Maine opens up, I'm signing up.
So, for example, if you chose to do that 2-hour commute would be that sacrifice of comfort. So, poetic and creative inspiration is also a way to work with Odin, especially if you are creating works drawn from difficult experience.
All my emo poetry as a kid.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Odin is like, to me, seems like the king of emo poetry.
Odin would love Fall Out Boy. First of all, bisexual king's favorite band.
R.I.P. Odin, you would have loved Fall Out Boy. Okay. If you're looking to approach Odin, do so seriously and only when you're willing to give something up for what you're asking. Odin isn't really like a casual request deity. He notices and respects practitioners who understand that knowledge and power both cost something real and often physical.
Okay, can I ask? This may be a dumb question.
No dumb questions.
Okay, as someone who's not super familiar, like devoting practice to deities, let's take this example of like if I wanted to go to acupuncture school, why would I devote that commute to Odin? Like what is the energy exchange?
The energy exchange, in my opinion, I think it could be lots of things, right? Like you can ask for something specific in return. You could say, Odin, if I dedicate this pursuit to you and I sacrifice my comfort in the pursuit of knowledge, will you help me find the inspiration that I need to power through it?
Oh my God. This just clicked in for me so much. So like, okay, so I have been feeling very called to work with Hecate recently because I'm in a bit of a crossroads in my life. And as the goddess of crossroads, my that queen. Feels like, yeah, right? So I would do an offering like for her to help support me in like the determining which way I go at this crossroads.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I don't know why that didn't click in for me before, but I'm hoping someone else listening that also clicked something and I didn't just sound like a goober who doesn't know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't sound like a goober at all. No, it's an exchange of energy, right?
Yeah.
And so here's what I'm willing to do.
Yeah. So it's basically like, okay, if I do this, I'm not saying I'm doing acupuncture school, but this is the example I'm bringing up. So, okay, I say to Odin, like, I'm going to do this acupuncture school. I'm giving up my comfort for it. And like, let this hyperfixation like sustain rather than like burn out is like the exchange.
Totally
Okay.
could be.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's very individual. It's like what you need, right?
Yeah.
So if it's like, Odin, I will, like if finances are a big part of it, Odin, I am sacrificing my comfort. Will you help me make sure that I am financially taken care of, right? Like that's an ask that you could make. I would keep my ask probably more centered in what he kind of like rules in his domain. But you really could ask for help with anything.
Yeah,
you know? Sometimes it's as simple as like knowing that there's somebody in your corner, right?
Yeah, it's like having a guidance counselor.
Yes, exactly like a guidance counselor. And I'm not even being like I'm not even joking. That is
I know.
So
well, yeah.
Okay. Offerings for Odin: mead or dark ale, written poetry, that emo poetry.
Oh my God.
It could be, you know, like writing out somebody else's poetry and giving it as an offering, or I think it's especially powerful if it's your own.
I'm playing Fall Out Boy for Odin.
Yes. Runes, either carved or drawn with intention. I know a lot of people in the spellcrafter community are like making their own rune sets right now. It's something I've heard a lot of people talk about. You could do that in dedication to Odin.
I'm obsessed with that.
Odin is the best deity, in my opinion, for like the more original definition of offering, which is like giving up something that you find comfort in deliberately as a sacrifice.
Yeah, like my Sunday afternoons to study.
Yes. Or like, I don't know, your favorite comfy t-shirt.
Oh.
You know, like it could be a physical object as well.
And like placing that on the altar?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Or finally, I have dark bread, which I really imagine, you know, the Cheesecake Factory bread?
Oh, do I know the Cheesecake Factory bread?
That to me is the ultimate sacrifice to Odin, because not eating every piece of that shit.
Dude, they sell it in my grocery store.
I've seen it too. I have to physically restrain myself.
It's so good. I've never been to Cheesecake Factory, but I buy that
really?
bread like every other week. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We've got to go.
I've never been. We don't have them in Maine, I don't think. I think the closest one is in Mass.
Next time you're in town, we'll go.
December, baby.
Okay. Correspondences for Odin. For crystals, we've got labradorite, hematite, and smoky quartz. For colors, deep blue-gray, black, or silver. For herbs and plants, we've got yew, ash, and mugwort. And then for animals, we have ravens and wolves. For symbols, really any rune, but the rune Enzus, the spear, and a single eye.
Eyeball or the letter I?
Like an eyeball, like the one he lost famously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that made sense. I just wanted to clarify.
And then for day of the week, I've got Wednesday. So that's Odin.
I like Odin.
Right? Me too.
I'm like, Odin's book smart. I want to dedicate my library to him.
Right? Okay. Next we have Frigg. She's the queen of the Aesir, the goddess of marriage, motherhood, and foreknowledge. So Frigg is Odin's wife and the queen of Asgard. And she is, in like a very quiet way, one of the most powerful figures in the Pantheon. Because like we've discussed, as women usually are, she knows every being's fate.
That's bonkers to me. Like, could you imagine?
No. What's more bonkers is that she speaks it to no one.
Yeah, I probably would too, because that would just like, do people know she has this knowledge?
I think so.
Okay, so she's just like mum's the word.
Yeah.
Queen.
She governs marriage, motherhood, domestic life, and the home, ruling from her hall Fensalir, which is like known as like either the sea halls or marsh halls.
Gross.
So where Odin's power is like that restless, relentless pursuit, Frigg's is just like a still, foreknowing center that everybody else kind of like orbits around.
Okay.
She's like kind of the center of the universe because she's holds
the
that
sun.
Yeah, holds that all-powerful knowledge.
Yeah.
So she's sometimes conflated or confused with Freya, both in ancient sources and modern practice. But Frigg is Odin's wife and the queen. Freya is the Vanir goddess of love and war, who lives among the Aesir. We'll talk about her in episode 3. They have similar domains but are separate people.
Okay.
So, Frigg's TLDR mythology. She is warned by prophetic dreams of her son's death, and she travels the world extracting a promise from every object and creature not to harm him, overlooking only the mistletoe.
Oh.
That proves to be a fateful mistake that you'll hear the full story in episode 4 of this series.
Spoiler warning.
Just a little something I'd give you a taste. Frigg is repeatedly described as knowing all fates but revealing none. That to me is like a very deliberate form of power built around restraint rather than intervention.
Yeah. What is telling that information really going to do but cause chaos?
Exactly, especially when there is nothing that anyone can do.
Yeah. So she is like burdening herself with all this knowledge. It's interesting. Knowledge is a burden to her, but like a resource to Odin.
Yes, especially so Frigg is the one who knows deep in her soul that there is nothing that Odin can do to prevent Ragnarok. And she has to watch her husband pursue everything that he can to do what he can to meet that end. Knowing, even if he knows that there's nothing he can do, she's seen it.
Yeah.
That's like a kind of pain that I don't know that I can really fathom.
It's like knowing a loved one, like when a loved one gets a diagnosis and you know the end of it, but they haven't quite like tipped the edge where it's like very clear physically that they're declining.
Yeah.
That's got to be so hard.
I know. So her hall, which is associated with marshland or the sea, that's where she's said to spin. So sometimes, like in some texts, that's literal, like weaving. Sometimes it's a metaphor for weaving the threads of fate, kind of like the 3 fates in Greek mythology. The thing that I find most interesting about Frigg is kind of what we were talking about, like that foreknowledge of Ragnarok means that she faces that coming of the end of the world, including the deaths of her husband, her son, and everyone she knows. She has that full awareness for the entire span of her mythology, which I see, it's the ultimate form of anticipatory grief.
Yeah.
This is something I've actually been thinking a lot. As I was researching her, I feel very drawn to Frigg. I've been thinking a lot about the idea of motherhood recently and whether or not, like, I've always said that I'm child-free by choice and intend to stay that way, but as I've gotten older, I just have thought more about the concept of motherhood and whether or not that's something that I see for myself. And the thing that really gets me the most is the grief that has to come with having a child. In that you birth this being that you love more than anything in the world, and you know that like there comes a time where you can't protect them. And that level of like terror, Frigg is like the embodiment of it.
Yeah.
Because she knows.
Yeah, that gives me anxiety to think about.
I know.
This is why I am child-free by choice and permanently.
Okay, so some signs that Frigg might be reaching out include knowing something difficult is coming and feeling like the power in that choice of choosing what to say and what to keep private. A deep pull towards homemaking, marriage, or motherhood as sacred practice. dreams of spinning, weaving, or quiet domestic tasks that feel significant, feeling called to carry your grief privately rather than outwardly, and a sense of like feeling the weight of being that calm, knowing center that others might orbit. Ways to work with Frigg include home and hearth magic, protection, blessing, and sanctification of domestic space.
Mundane magic.
Any kind of marriage and long-term partnership work.
Couples therapy. In the name of Frigg.
Yes. Any kind of motherhood work, especially working with that kind of grief of loving something that you can't protect.
Yeah.
Asking her for help with discernment about what to share and what to hold privately. And asking for strength and dignity in carrying difficult truths or foreknowledge.
Could you also, I'm like, because she's a spinner, could you knit? Could you spin? Could you fiber arts?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I actually have it in my offerings, spinning or needlework. So,
great. I was like,
I would classify knitting in the same place as like needlework and spinning.
Yeah.
So ways to approach her are in the home, especially through acts of care rather than like big ritual, very heavy on the mundane magic. She responds to steady devotion and to honesty about grief, especially grief that is carried with composure.
What's so interesting is Frigg is the bridge between both of our books.
Yes. What's funny is I was reading about her and I was like, I don't know that I would classify what I'm doing as connected to Frigg, because I don't know that I've grieved at all with any level of composure or quietly. I would say that I've been the opposite of quiet about my grief. But, you know, again, on that mundane magic, offerings to Frigg could include a clean or tended home space offered as devotion. Like I said, that's spinning, weaving, needlework, knitting, crocheting, fiber arts, especially if you make your own yarn, if you spin your own yarn.
I won't be doing that, but I love that idea.
It is low-key maybe next. Low-key, get it? It is maybe next on my fiber arts journey.
Wait, rabbit hole. Do you follow the woman who is growing a dress?
Yes.
If anyone's not familiar, she's literally like, she's bringing awareness to like sustainable fashion through this, but she's literally like growing all the fiber to make her dress and then learning how to weave it and sew it and like turn it into like yarn and making linen.
It's
and then
so sick.
Growing the dye for it and everything to like make it. She's been doing it for like over a year.
Yeah.
She posts weekly updates. It's awesome. Just search on Instagram, growing a dress. You'll find her.
So sick. So Frigg core.
So Frigg core.
Okay. Also, any herbs associated with the home and hearth like lavender and rosemary can be left in offering to Frigg.
So, okay. So why would I leave an offering to Frigg? Like, what would Frigg be able to help me with?
I think I would specifically ask her for strengthening the home in any kind of like marriage or relationship. If I learned a difficult truth and had to keep it to myself, I would ask her for help and strength in keeping it.
Yeah.
If I had to deliver a difficult truth, I would ask for her help and strength.
Okay.
Anything kind of like that.
Cool.
Correspondences. For crystals, I've got moonstone, rose quartz, and amber. Soft blue, white, and dove gray for colors. Lavender, rosemary, and flax, because it has that tie to spinning.
Oh, yeah.
The falcon for animals. Sometimes she's said to have a falcon cloak, which is similar to Freya.
Okay.
We'll talk a little bit more about that in her episode, but that's where kind of that like conflation can come from. There is a lot of overlap.
Okay. And their names are similar.
Yes. Frigg and Frey. And then for symbols, the spindle, like the thing that you spin with, and a closed hand for knowledge held, not spoken.
Ah.
So, Odin and Frigg are the only pairing in this series that are also like a marriage or romantically involved. And it's such an interesting pairing because of that like kind of asymmetry of their partnership. He chases knowledge across the 9 worlds and pays for it in literally blood and an eye. where she already holds the hardest knowledge that there is and pays for it by carrying it alone.
Ugh.
Two very different sacrifices, but I would say equally painful.
Yeah, for sure.
Working with both together is especially potent for when you're facing a truth that you can't change. So Odin for the courage to look at it directly, and Frigg for the discipline to carry it with grace.
Mm.
Who would you say you think you connect to more?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I feel like you said, like they both, I feel like I would work with them together.
Yeah.
You know, for that sort of, I feel like if I'm struggling with knowing something or not knowing something, both of them together would be that support, like on both sides of the knowledge spectrum.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
What about you?
I think too, if you wanted to do any sort of like marriage work, I think that working with the two of them together would be like cool and interesting. I think I feel a little bit closer to Frigg, even though maybe we have different expressions of our grief.
Yeah.
Writing a book about grief, I think, is like antithetical to Frigg.
Yeah.
But I think especially like seeing marriage as like a sacred practice and a sacred rite is very topical for me right now.
Yeah.
And so like bringing that, especially as I'm planning a wedding that is so ritualistic in nature and like very intentionally like full of witchcraft, I see a lot of like what I'm thinking about and working on right now in Frigg and her story. But I think like for the overarching theme like of my life, I could see myself working with Odin.
Yeah. Say more about how you would work with them both for marriage work. I think that's interesting.
Well, I see like the differences in them as people, especially I feel like we get a lot of messages from people who are married to or in relationship with skeptics.
Guilty.
And so I see that like difference in the two of them. Obviously, it's not a direct correlation, but I see two people who are in a marriage that clearly works because they've been married for millennia. Mm-hmm. Although I don't know that divorce really exists in the Aesir, but, you know, we're just going to say for all intents and purposes that it works. Mm-hmm. Who are so different and are dealing with their stuff in such different ways that I could see a world in which you have like an altar to your marriage or to your relationship and you leave offerings for both of those deities and ask for assistance in like unity.
Interesting. Cool. Love that.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments who you resonate more with or if you already work with one of these deities.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, because I know this pantheon has been requested quite a bit from folks who know way more about it than I do. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, what got you into these two?
Yeah, and what did I miss? What's your favorite myth that maybe I didn't include? Would love to hear more, especially tell me your favorite book about Norse mythology, all the things. I want to hear all of your thoughts, all of your feelings.
Hell yeah.
And rate my pronunciation only if you're going to do it nicely.
Yeah. I'd give you a 10 out of 10.
Thank you. I'm only going to ask people who have no idea how to pronounce the words I'm saying. All right. I think we did it.
Did we do it?
I think we did. We will see you next week for Thor and Tyr.
Okay. Until then.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Demystify Magic with Molly and Madison. All our links from spells to ceremonies to ways to support us are waiting in the show notes.
We'd love to hear your magic moment of the week. Share it in a review, tag us on socials, or bring it to our Patreon clubhouse at demystifymagic.com.
And remember, you are the magic.
Okay, love you.
Bye.
Class is now in session. And the UPS Store is here to help you ace arriving on campus. Our certified packing experts can pack everything you need, from desktops to decor. Plus, when you pack and ship with us, you get our exclusive pack and ship guarantee. Your items arrive safe or your money back. Restrictions and limitations apply. To get a 20% off packing coupon and for full details, visit theupsstore.com/packing.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry. Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable. From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces, ready to be engraved with your summer mantra. Each design moves with you, from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between. Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold.